If we look at cancer treatment researchers, what is the vision about immunology, CAR T more specifically? Where do they think the world will end up when this technology will be around? Will we expect most people to live past 100 years old and not die because of cancer? What would the world look like if we could cure majority of cancer diseases?
Well, that's interesting because cancer is one of the big killers of, as you get older and older, your chances and your vulnerability to it increases, as is obvious, right? But I think if we can cure many cancers, I think you will obviously eventually die of something else, I think. But I mean, it's an interesting idea, really. I mean, this is slightly going off topic, but there are many people focused on things like age-related treatments and reversing aging. And obviously, I'm focused on cancer research, but I'm sure there are many people focused on heart disease and other things that. So you could imagine a world where actually we're pretty good at treating most illnesses, and we're also pretty good at de-aging people. I mean, it's not great for the population crisis, but it's pretty good if you're somebody who wants to live a long time. Yeah, I mean, you could probably imagine people living to the classic sci-fi trope is 150 to 200 years old becomes the new age expectancy. This is totally sci-fi. This has nothing to do with what I researched, by the way. It's just speculative. If we could say that, yeah, we can. By the way, something I haven't really mentioned yet, but is very important, is that we're very good at detecting cancer, or at least screening for risk factors now. So if you have a gene that makes you more vulnerable to it, we can detect that in your genome and make sure that you are screened properly and catch the cancer earlier if it does happen. So we're also getting better at detecting it and preventing it in that sense through technology advancements. So yeah, all round, we're getting a lot better at detecting it, preventing it, treating it, curing it sometimes, more and more. So it could become a case where it's a dangerous but treatable illness rather than a deadly one for many people. Yeah. The other thing is that as it's expensive, right now, there are concerns about accessibility and, wealth inequality with this, because if the Western world can make cancer treatments that cure them, but the rest of the world cannot afford the huge costs of these treatments, then if medicine turns into a situation where you have massively expensive but very effective treatments, then it's really a tough question for healthcare systems to prioritize which patient over another if the treatments are really expensive or not. But B, it's not a great look for international, developing countries not getting access to the best treatments that are available if they're so expensive.
Yes.
As the costs come down, that might be less of a problem than it looks right now in the early stages of research. But it's still a concern to me that everybody gets access to these medicines, because I don't want it to be a world where the West gets ultra good cures and the rest of the world has to just watch from the sidelines as they still suffer from the same diseases as always.